Hello, SVUE students. It is the week of February 15th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now it's time for the Avid Spartan Pledge. I am an avid Spartan, always prepared for the day, very respectful to all that come my way. Intentionally, safe, and determined to exceed. I am an avid Spartan, and today I will succeed. Avid job highlight. This week's job is one for all you wild animal lovers. A zoologist. Zoologists study multiple species of animals in a certain ecosystem, population integration, or specific species or behavior. They collect and analyze data in labs or in outdoor environments. They work for zoos and federal agencies such as the National Wildlife Federation and other organizations that are concerned with wildlife. Others, however, teach in universities and conduct their own research. As a zoologist, you get to travel to many different places, but you also have to work in some pretty challenging conditions, such as rain, hot and humid temperatures, really cold climates, and bad storms, so that you can study the animals and their behaviors better. To become a zoologist, you are really only required to get your bachelor's degree in zoology, but you can get your master's or a PhD as well. Some of the required skills are an understanding of science, critical thinking, complex problem solving, decision making, active learning, and writing. Proficiency with Microsoft Office or other scientific software would be hugely beneficial because a lot of what a zoologist does is data collection. Some of the classes you are taking now that could help include science, especially biology and life sciences, as they deal with animals and ecosystems, and social studies, to study the history of animals and the history of their environments. Colleges in the area that can help you on your way to becoming a zoologist include Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, Eastern Illinois University, and Western Illinois University. Here's a fun fact for you. According to zoologists, you can distinguish an alligator from a crocodile by paying attention to whether you see the animal later or in a while. Get it? I have a special announcement. As an avid school, we are trying to learn about lots of different careers. One of the most important decisions that lead to many of those careers is choosing a college or university to attend. I have set up an interview with a representative from the University of Illinois, and I'm going to need your help. I want to ask the questions that you want answered. So I have asked your teachers to share a Google form with you to fill out the questions you want included in the interview. The interview will be shared right here on the announcements in the coming weeks. Pretty cool, right? I look forward to receiving your questions. Teacher Spotlight! Take it away, Mrs. Dunsing.
Well, good morning, everybody. And today the teacher spotlight is on Mrs. French. So, Mrs. French, where did you go to school?
I went to school at the University of Illinois, but I went to the Springfield campus, not Urbana-Champaign, and I actually went there twice. So I have 2 degrees from there.
What are your 2 degrees?
My first degree is actually in English language arts. I started off as a pre-med, but I switched to English language arts halfway through. My second one is in developmental psychology with a minor in elementary education.
Oh, wow, 2 degrees. That is exciting. So listening to those 2 degrees, was it that you always wanted to be a teacher?
No, I actually never wanted to be a teacher growing up, and I came from a family of teachers. As I said, I started off as a pre-med. I wanted to study forensic anthropology. I wanted to go solve crimes, but I didn't have the stomach to be a doctor. So I kind of just had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And while I was in college, I worked at a tutoring center, and I really enjoyed helping other students, improve their writing, do better on tests and things like that. And my boss there would always point out and be like, "It's such a shame that you're not an education major. You would do so well with it." And I'm just like, and I graduated with my degree in English. After I graduated, I started to work at an auditorium. So I worked in the box office and I helped with selling tickets and promoting the shows and things like that. And it was a fun job because, I got to meet, musicians and actors and actresses and comedians. but I never felt fulfilled by it. And I just kept on thinking about that, hey, tutoring thing. So I decided to give substitute teaching a shot to see, hey, do I want to be a teacher? And by being a substitute teacher, I experienced different grades, different ages, and I found out, hey, teaching social studies is a lot of fun, and I really, really like it. So I went back to school to get my degree.
Yay. Now, I've got pictures of 2 cats here. Do these happen to be your kittens?
Yes, those are my 2 cats. They are the reason that so many people here at SVUE believe that I am a crazy cat lady. My students, when we were at home teaching, became very familiar with them. They like to pop in and help me teach. And I think about bringing them to the classroom all the time. Who would notice? The white one is named Thunderfoot because she is the noisiest cat I have ever met. You can hear her across the house running around. The other one is Anders, and I actually rescued him from the SVUE parking lot. It was a cold, wet, rainy day, and he was just skin and bones covered in fleas trying to get into the school.
Oh, that's so sweet. That is so nice. So now my next pictures that I've got are a bunch of pictures of things that you like to do outside and things you like to do inside, and also a dream that you'd have, that's something where you'd like to travel to. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, well, my hobbies seem to change depending on the weather. When it's winter, I like to stay inside and I like to play games. So I really love playing board games with my family or playing video games. I actually play Animal Crossing every single day during lunchtime. And I enjoy playing and solving puzzles, when I'm at home. But when the weather's nice, I'm outside. Bought a house a couple years ago, so I love having a backyard for gardening. And if I'm not at my house working on my garden, I like to go out to all the different parks around here to go hiking and kayaking, which kind of ties into my dream. And it's the dream my parents are kind of experiencing right now. But when I retire, I want to just get a nice camper and just travel the world.
Oh, that sounds like a good time. Definitely. So, what is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject when I was in school was actually science, especially biology. And I still find it fascinating, but I really enjoyed teaching social studies and world history, but I got my love of history more from my dad than from school.
Yep, I'm kind of the same way. I like another subject and but I like to teach a different subject, so I'm with you on that one. And finally, what is your favorite book?
My favorite book is My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead George. I read it the first time in the 4th grade, and it's the first book I read over and over, and I think it really inspired my love of nature.
I'm gonna have to try that one out. So this has just been an awesome interview. So thank you very much, Miss French, for coming and doing this with us. And I really, really enjoy it.
Well, thank you for having me. And thank you to all the students who kept bugging me in the daily exit ticket about when I was going to do this.
And there you are. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, it's so cool to learn more about you, Miss French. Serious question, though. Have you paid off Tom Nook? Thank you for being on our show, and thank you, Mrs. Dunsing, for hosting. This coming Friday is Nerd Day. Nerds come in all shapes and sizes. Feel free to interpret what nerd means to you in your costume. You could even dress up like me, because I'm a huge nerd. Be sure to show off your nerdy costume to your teacher. Time for the special day of the week. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! Can you think of something more universally loved than muffins? The beloved muffin deserves a day of its own. And for that, we have February 20th. It's National Muffin Day. English muffins have been whipped up in kitchens as far back as 1,000 years ago in Wales. and American-style muffins have been around since the 18th century. Muffins are a great breakfast on the run, and perfect substitute for toast during brunch, and as an easy treat to give as a gift. How are you going to celebrate National Muffin Day? Hopefully by eating a lot of muffins. Time for the joke of the week. Two muffins were sitting in the oven. One turned to the other and said, "Hey, it's pretty hot in here, isn't it?" The other one turned and shouted, "OMG, a talking muffin!" Time for a question for you. The first found printed reference to a muffin was spelled as Muffin, M-O-O-F-I-N. What year was this reference printed? Have your teachers send me your answer, and you might get a class shout out if you get it correct. I'm going to leave you with one last word. Capitulate. Capitulate is a verb which means to surrender or cease resisting. This morning I had to capitulate to my alarm because it was almost time to leave for school. I'm Mr. Hubbard, and I'll see you next week.